There we go. What we're doing as well. Okay, so people are still hopping on. Alrighty, so I'm gonna pull up my Instagram. And I'm sorry if this is going to be a bit glitchy or not. With screen sharing, if you guys have any like super important information, if you can unmute yourself and let me know, because it's going to be hard for me to screen share and look at the chat at the exact same time. But I will go back to the chat for questions later. But if for some reason I freeze up or you can't hear me anymore, just unmute yourself and let me know. So kind of just going over the basics of Instagram. I know last week we talked about Facebook a little bit, and 2 weeks ago we talked kind of about the overall appearance of it. I'm gonna try to keep up with letting people in as well. So just going to your own, you guys, bear with me. All right, to your feed, like we said, same profile picture as Facebook and TikTok. I like to keep mine the same across the board because more often than not, if I meet someone on Instagram and they sign up as a customer, or especially if they sign up as a promoter, I really want to have them as a friend on Facebook because we do a lot of our business on Facebook as well. So just having your profile picture be the same really helps them to find you, especially if you have a super common name. So with that being said, let's talk about username. I know we touched briefly on this before, but my username is just my name. Keep it simple. If you want to have like, for example, 94 at the end, that's fine too, but try to keep it super simple for people to remember, easy for them to spell if they're typing it in to find you. And your bio. So I'm trying out something new. This is actually something that Krista mentioned on her Zoom about having your bio be the problem you solve, the service you offer people. So I'm working on rebranding right now and trying out something new. So if you were to look at my Facebook right now, my Facebook one talks about my brand. It has that I'm a new mama, that I love planners, that I'm a Christian. On Instagram, I'm trying out this. I changed it a couple days ago to kind of my purpose, helping mamas find purpose, peace, and joy in the mundane day to day. And then I do have Saved by Grace and then Tap for Mom Fuel. That's my call to action. And that link is my link to Equid. It's ECWID. It's a free service where you can upload pictures and your mini experiences. That way, if people want to get a mini and they don't necessarily come to you for it, they can just click that link and order a mini right there. You can utilize that. A couple other things that you can put for your link, some different ideas for you, is it went away. Is the opportunity link. The opportunity link with the video that goes over promoting is one of my other favorite things. And sometimes I switch up the link I have in there. So I've been talking to a lot of people about mini experiences right now, and I have a lot of people on the fence, and I've been mentioning mini experiences in my stories as well. So I recently changed it over to that link where they can go get their mini experience. If I'm doing a lot of stories or posting about the opportunity, I'll put our opportunity video link in there as well. Another thing you can put in there as well is if you create a video of you sharing your story and you post it to like YouTube, or you have it linked to like your blog or something like that, even linked on Facebook, like a Facebook Live or something, you could put it in there so that when people click that link, the first thing that pops up is your beautiful face and you telling your Thrive experience story. If you do a bunch of Facebook Lives with people, you can put the link to that Facebook Live. It has to be public so anyone can see it, and they can go see it. So whenever I do a Facebook Live, I did one with Hillary and Dakota and a few other people, and each time I did a Facebook Live, I posted about it in my Instagram stories that I was going live, and to check out the link in my bio. So people on Instagram were then going to my profile, they were clicking the link that talked about in my stories, and then they were going and watching the Facebook Live. So that's kind of crossing over and being able to share that information, because I don't think we really go live on Instagram with another person a lot to do like that live interview. And so instead of doing double the work and having to go live on Facebook and live on Instagram, I just share the link to share that information with people. The only time I put my Thrive link right, okay, I'll go over that in a second, Dakota. The only time I put my Thrive link into my bio is if I'm trying to get free accounts. So this is very temporary. Sometimes Paul will say, go get 100 free accounts, or I'll do like a giveaway, like a free mini experience for those who create a free account. And I'll put my Thrive 123 link or my Lavelle link in my bio for them to create their free account very easily. But that's the only time I really keep it in there. I want them to come to me asking questions. I don't want them to set up a customer account and order a bunch of random products, and then I'm like trying to figure out, okay, who ordered from Instagram? I see their name. Is their name the same on their Instagram account? And they got a bunch of, thank you, random products, and trying to explain all of those to them. To me, it's just easier not to have my Thrive link up there. Your Instagram, I personally have mine public for a few reasons. If you have it private because you have kids or anything like that, that is completely up to you, and I understand the reasoning behind it. But I will say, if your account is private, meaning people have to request to follow you, you cannot use hashtags to grow. Hashtags, people will only find your stuff with hashtags if your account is public. You don't get insights. So if you tap on your picture and it's like a business or creator account, which has to be public, you can see not only how many people are liking and commenting on your post, but you can see the reach. And I know Krista went over that a lot in the boot camp Zoom, so I'm not going to go over all that. Like I said, if you missed that Zoom, you need to go watch it. But very short, reach is how many people actually see your content. So you can see how many people, in a sense, you're reaching, rather than, oh, my thing only got, 20 likes or 50 likes. They may only have 20 or 50 likes, but if you look at your insights, you could have thousands of people that are actually viewing your content. So that is super encouraging. And then your location. When you add a location on there, people can only find your posts to that location if your account is public. So I definitely recommend having your account be public and then using the business or creator account. I personally do the creator account. It just works best for me. And I know Krista talked about that. Yeah, exactly. We can do that tonight too. And I'll share the bootcamp Zoom that Krista did in the chat after this too. So if you missed it, you can go look over that as well. So there are a couple main parts of Instagram as far as sharing content. You can go live on Instagram, the reels, posting, and stories. The cool thing about Instagram lives is that you can share them and they become Instagram TVs. I'm going to try to screen share again. I don't know why it went away, but we will see if it'll let me. Nope. All right. There we go. All right, so if you are looking at your profile, you're going to see a little play button. That is your reels, and then the little TV is lives that you have saved, which I think is super fun. I do these for like the opportunity. I try to update them every couple months. I take down old information, but if you go live in your stories and then save that information, you'll have that there. You can also reshare these lives back into your stories. So that's a fun way to kind of reutilize information. Another way to share is the reels, and this is what's really popular right now. Don't mind my weird looking draft there. There's a reason it's in drafts. But you can post reels, and then posting is what we're probably most familiar about. And then stories up in, if you were to click my little profile picture, it would take you to my stories. Or if you're on the home, like Courtney, you can see the stories, and they pretty much work the same as Facebook stories as well. So each one of these has, oh great, a different purpose. Reels are reels are, I can't talk tonight, guys. To grow your reach and your exposure, you're gonna wanna use reels. There we go. This is where you're going to have a lot of non-followers seeing your content. Let's see if I can go back to my reel. Sorry, my little one just woke up and is fussing.
Can you tell us how you see how your font's all different and cute and has all these like crosses and hearts? How did you go and do that?
Yeah. Okay. One moment. So to edit profile, I would just go to my bio, and I have an app called Fonts, and you can save a completely different keyboard. So I would just hit the little globe thing down at the bottom.
It's just called Font, F-O-N-T?
Yep.
Okay.
And it's a free app, and it comes with like different emoji boards and then different fonts. And so I will type this up in my notes section so I get it all lined up properly, and then I copy and paste it into my bio. So your reels are going to be what really help grow your business. Within your reels, you're going to want to do a call to action. I'm just starting to do this now, so I can't give you like a example, because a lot of this I'm kind of learning and soaking in and trying new stuff. But a call to action, basically meaning if you relate to this video, like it, or for me, what my branding is homemaking, motherhood. So any fellow mamas, click follow. And I actually gained a lot of followers when I started doing this on TikTok, and then I'm kind of carrying that over into Instagram. So posting then is the next way that you can grow your following on Instagram as well. But this is going to be more of deeper value content. So your content that you share shouldn't just be about you and your life. Yes, you can have those scattered throughout your feed, but you should be offering value that is on brand in your niche to your audience. So one of my favorite ways to figure out, okay, so what should I even post, is ask your audience in your story, what do you guys want to see? Oh, we lost it again. What do you guys want to see more of on my feed? Do you prefer, you can do a poll, do you prefer more hair and makeup? Do you prefer more lifestyle posts? Do you prefer cooking? Do you prefer, you know, this or that? Ask whatever like your brands are and find out what your audience wants to see. Stories now, on the other hand, you can gain followers from stories, but stories is more to interact with the audience that you already have. So get to know your followers, ask them questions, invite them to engage with you. And engagement is what really drives Instagram. Instagram is becoming more and more of a search engine, kind of like Pinterest, where you're looking for things and looking up items, more than Facebook, which is like family, friends, social media platform. Instagram is becoming more of like where people go to search for ideas and content like you would on Pinterest. So with that being said, boosting your engagement on Instagram is super, super important. And that's kind of what I'm going to talk about this second half of this Zoom, just because it is the bread and butter of what you need to be doing on Instagram. So first off is consistency, consistency, consistency. Find what works for you. If posting every day works for you, make sure you're posting every day. If posting every other day works for you, post every other day. That's the most I would go as far as a posting schedule, either every day or every other day. You can mix it up. Maybe one day you're posting your content and then the next day you're posting a reel and you go back and forth like that. You can do that as well. And then making sure you're being consistent with your stories too and posting in there daily. After you post, spend 30 minutes to an hour right after that, making sure you're checking the comments and responding to them right away. Like I said, Instagram's all about engagement. It wants people to spend more time on the app. So if people are commenting on your post right after you post it, make sure you're responding. And when you respond, don't just give like a heart emoji or like a quick thanks. I'm guilty of that. Like I said, I've learned a lot and I'm working on changing that. So all my posts aren't the greatest example because I'm working on that change. But respond with full sentences. And something I started doing is trying to comment back to their comment with a question to get them to engage with me, to start that conversation. And if you build that relationship, it's eventually going to lead over to Messenger. You can add hashtags to your posts. Instagram allows you to use 30 hashtags, and I would suggest using all of them. You can do hashtags pertaining to that post, but also hashtags pertaining to your brand. That way you find like-minded people. Think of your audience, your ideal client, and use those hashtags as well. And then your posts are going to pop up. With that being said, when you are searching through hashtags, when people are looking for things, you're going to want to have an eye-catching photo because that's what's going to make people stop scrolling through, click on the picture, and read it. That's the first thing they see. Sorry. One moment, I'm going to go grab my baby real quick. Another thing that you can do with posting is a carousel, and that's where you have, thank you, and that's where you have multiple pictures posted at once. Like I said, Instagram likes it when people engage with the app, when they spend more time with it. So if they're having to scroll through and look at different pictures, Instagram is going to reward you, and that post is going to be shown more. Also making sure your captions on your post are engaging, that it makes people stop and want to read more. Having a caption that's longer is also great. You don't want it to be wordy though. There's a difference between having value and a long post than being super wordy, super, adding extra descriptives in it, all of that stuff. So making sure you're adding value, having a longer caption. My goal is to have every caption be long enough to where it has see more on it, where people are clicking see more, and then they're, thank you, waiting they're wanting to read more. Alrighty, and then also on your post, having a call to action or a call for engagement. So ending it with a question. The other day, for example, I did a post on being thankful for things, and I ended it with, what are you thankful for? And I got a lot of great feedback on that post as well. You can also have a call to action in your stories, making sure you tell them, to comment, to like, stuff like that. When you post a story, I always share when you post your content, I always make sure to share it into my story as well. Some people, they will check stories and they won't even scroll through the feed. So making sure anytime I post new content, I have it shared with like a new post. And you can also type in, make sure you check this out and give it a like. Look at your insights when you do post. You can look at what days are popular. Krista went over this too, and we'll probably do a Zoom together where she can go over this more. But you can see what day your followers are most active, what time, and then you want to be posting around your peak time. So if your peak time, for example, is 8 p.m., you want to start posting around 7. That way, when everyone is getting on at 8, your content is there. And if you get a lot of interaction going a little bit ahead of that peak time, it's going to really pop up on your peak time, and then it's just going to explode after that. Interactive stories are also great for engagement, and Instagram's going to reward you and share your content more. Some ways to make your stories interactive is by including polls, questions, a quiz. You can add even music to it, anything to make people stop and spend more time in your story. If you do a lengthier story, make sure you hold down to read, and they're gonna have to hold down on your story to read the information, and Instagram will also reward you for that. Make sure you're posting more than just Thrive though. I would say, I try to keep a lot of my Thrive related posts to my stories as far as content wise.
I think you have waiting room. Did they get out?
It doesn't show me anything.
I think they were just talking about me. Casey said knock, 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 but I think she was laughing at me because I was knocking.
I think everyone's in. It looks like everyone's in. So just putting interactive stuff that's not about Thrive. You can do polls for this. If you have a couple outfits that you're trying to decide between, you can ask that. If you're out grocery shopping, people love to give their opinion. So you can ask them, what brand of ketchup do you guys prefer, and make it a poll. Just silly stuff like that. And for one, you're going to get to know your audience more. They're going to get to know you. They're going to see that you're a real, genuine person and interact with you more. Quizzes, I like doing the quizzes. You can have multiple options. It doesn't have to be like a right or wrong thing when it comes to quizzes. Like, for example, I did a series, I made breakfast for dinner tonight. And so in my stories, I asked what their favorite type of juice was. And I used the quiz option. And so I put cranberry, apple, orange, or other, and they could select which one was their favorite. You can also edit whatever story picture you take to make sure it's on with your brand. If you do a photo for your stories, instead of just doing like an Instagram filter, you can take a picture, save it, edit it in Lightroom with your preset if you want to do that, and then upload it again. It's up to you. I always try to have 10 different stories, and I post them throughout the day. You don't want to just post a bunch of stories in the morning and then not post throughout the day. So you want to post morning, afternoon, evening, and nighttime as you're able to, and then making sure you have at least 10. And you can switch it up. Don't just have it all be about Thrive. Like I said, include stuff from your personal life, show them who you are, and be a real person. Some of my favorite apps for making story content is SCRL. It's super easy to use, and I like it because you can have multiple slides up next to each other so you can see how they're going to flow and what it looks like. Oh, excuse you. Story art is another good one. And then if you use Canva, Canva has a separate app called Canva Stories, where it's only for making Instagram and Facebook stories, which I love to use. It gets rid of like all the stuff for making a post or flyers, all that stuff. It's just a separate app for stories, but it's still Canva. It works the same way. And then the Unfold app. If you're not familiar with the Unfold app, we do have a training on how to use the Unfold app. So utilizing your stories, you can also, when you're posting your stories, use hashtags. If your account is public, you can type up to 10, I think, hashtags on your stories. I like to hide them so they're not just showing. I'll put like a sticker over them or a picture over them so you can't see, but then people can see you via story, which is super fun as well. So that's kind of what I had for tonight. Like I said, just super brief, and then I'm gonna share Krista's Zoom that she did for boot camp, and then we'll go over stuff more in detail. Did anyone have any questions? I think Dakota had one way back about how we get a link from your live on Facebook. So if you go, I'm gonna try to screen share again. I don't know why it keeps kicking it off. It's okay. All right, so you're gonna go to Facebook. I know, it's almost bedtime. And let's see, gotta find one of my Facebook Lives. Oh, hey Dakota, it's you. So you're gonna go to the share button and then more options and then copy. And it'll copy the link right there for you. And then I just post that in my bio, and then I'll make a cute graphic to put in my story saying, oh, I did a live interview, kind of like what you would post with Dakota. Come check out her story, how, you know, Thrive has helped her, yada, yada, yada. And then do that. So your Instagram audience is also able to see not just your story, but other people's stories as well. I am not sure. I personally only use the free version of Canva, so I'm not sure if it'll carry over to Canva Story. My guess would be it would, because you can still log in on the Canva Story app to your account. So I think if you're paying for it, it'll carry that over, but I can't bet on that, so. Ooh, Mr. Hungry over here. Alrighty, guys. Well, if no one else has any other questions, that'll be it for tonight. Yes, the Insta Club Hub training is amazing. So, alrighty. Well, I hope you guys have a good night, and Bootcamp Zoom is in 2 minutes. So, love you guys. Bye.